Yes, we all ready? All right, hi. My name is Anna, in case you don't know yet. Welcome to Astral Tarot. I'm gonna do a tag. No shame here, it's an old tag. Mad Witch made it, and I saw Masha from Musings by Masha doing it a while ago. Oh my god, what is this? Replace your classics kind of thing? It's hashtag the three systems of tarot, but not the originals. And I'm gonna, of course, change it up a little bit. Because anyway, I'm late to the game. Who even cares anymore? I'm gonna try to replace my classics. So my top 5. This, of course, is an experiment which is doomed right from the beginning. But I feel like... Actually, I'm a little tired. But I feel like, yeah, just flipping through some of my decks. And this is gonna be a combination of trying to first and foremost replace my top 5 with decks I already own, but I don't own that many decks, relatively speaking. So I'm also going to pretend to shop around, talk to you about why I might or might not pick some of these decks that are out there on the market that I know of. So let's do it. Also, an important rule that I thought would be interesting. I am not replacing the deck with obviously the same deck. If you could still buy it, just pretend the deck no longer exists. It fell off the face of the earth. And I'm not allowed to buy, hypothetically, another version of the deck. My top 5 in no particular order. Let's just start with my deck, if you will. The Triomphe de la Luna Paradoxical de Marseille version, the original one. All right then. This is forever my baby. Oh, look at this. This is the devil card I have in here right now. Just adding a little bit of that wonderful dark feminine power in here. Now, what could I possibly own that could replace this beauty? Obviously, if I didn't have these rules in this tag, I would replace this deck with the backup that I bought years ago. Or if I didn't have that, then it would be the 3rd edition of this deck or another colorway. Obviously, I think I would go for my purple one because it's bloody stunning. But I just said that is not how I play this game, so no same versions of the deck. Also, honestly, I have the illustrated pips. I just picked it up and then I didn't bring it here to film. Okay, so you probably know what it looks like. Am I allowed to replace it with the illustrated pips version? Either way, it doesn't seem right to me. So no. Now, the obvious choice for most people, I think, would be to just replace a Marseille with a Marseille, right? Because that would be also following the original tag. The 3 systems they're talking about, Rider-Waite-Smith, Tarot de Marseille, and Thoth. At least that's what I think, right? It's been a while since I've seen it. And yeah, this is my beautiful Tarot de Marseille, the Anima Antiqua. I really love working with this deck, but in my experience, the Triomphe de la Luna isn't just a Marseille, right? It's a dark, fun, very whimsical, untraditional Marseille. It's interesting to make a very untraditional version of a very traditional deck, very traditional system. So what I'm going for in these so-called replacements is actually quality of the deck, what the deck brings me. So this ain't gonna cut it, you know what I mean? It's too classic, it's too normal, it's too, I mean, I love it, but it's too regular. It's not dark enough is what I'm trying to say, really. I did think of maybe doing something weird and using, oh, that's upside down, and using, oh, what is this called again? Wow. the carte napoletane. Right? I mean, I don't know. I still don't know how to read with these, but it's a childhood sentiment, and so maybe this would be my chance, you know what I mean? The deck that I own that I think has a very good grasp of what the Triomphe de la Luna does for me is, actually I have two decks in mind. Tarot de Marseille by Polka, which is actually not a Tarot de Marseille, it's just a pip deck. But, and I always say that, sorry, and then I always say that. You guys probably know that by now, but see, it's dark and funny, but especially the dark thing is important here. And it is a pip deck, which I do very much appreciate. Yes, so maybe Polka would do it for me. Then again, how about we take a look at this wonderful beauty, this absolute madness, which is the terrestrial tarot. These are dark creatures, right? This, to me, is very intriguing. It's strange, it's new. I would need to kind of make my own system, but they do all look like living little demon beings living in the underworld, right? In the upside down, in a kind of a welcoming little hellscape. I don't know, man, and that definitely has similar feel to my lovely Triomphe. I don't know. Do you guys see it? I already knew these decks were friends, but this might be my best bet in replacing my favorite deck in my current collection. Now, for what I would purchase to replace this one, right? Let's keep flipping through this one. To replace this one, maybe Tarot des Ambiguïtés. Although, I don't know, there's something about it that I like, there's something about it that I don't like. I mean, it would definitely be a good replacement for me if my regular Marseille was, or my go-to Marseille would be a regular Marseille. But it's not, okay? So it's just not dark enough. I need the dark backgrounds, guys. I've looked at Daemonibus Tarot, which is a tarot deck you can find on Etsy. Very interesting, again, with the little friendly demon creatures that welcome you to their misfit, underground, outcast little land. I did think of the Serpent and the Peacock Tarot, maybe even the art edition, but who knows? All these decks, they have similar feel. I think they're all clearly medieval decks. But then again, the Serpent and the Peacock, again, something that you find on Etsy, I think Etsy's the place to buy strange decks, isn't it? It's actually closer to a Rider-Waite-Smith, but it has that Triomphe, medieval, dark, and funny vibe. Yeah, that's what it is. But to be honest, if all the Triomphe decks disappeared overnight, I would go to New York, find Patrick Valenza, stalk him until he makes me a new Triomphe de la Luna tarot deck. What, you think I wouldn't? So there, that would be my real solution. I don't want to shop around, I want this deck. Wow, that sounded spoiled, but okay. The Rider-Waite-Smith Centennial. This is a go-to, it's a classic, we all know it. We don't all love it, but I do. Go-to deck for face-to-face client readings, especially short readings. Now, what could I possibly replace this with? Honestly, I would replace it with the hoi polloi, except that that is completely breaking my own rules, because this clearly is a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. But just to tell you, I have completely fallen in love with this one. But you know what I'm trying to really tell you here is I cannot imagine having to work with a Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck that does not have Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork. This is already edited, right? But at least it's still pixie, kind of. But having to have a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, but then it can't be her artwork, it can't be her drawings, that seems... I can't even imagine a tarot practice without this. Is that weird? Even though I don't pick up this deck all that much for myself anymore, because I'm trying to explore other things. I mean, I still will. It's what I'm saying. It's a classic, it's my top 5, it will forever stay there. But I don't even know where to start. In my own collection, I don't feel I can replace the classic Rider-Waite-Smith with Rider-Waite-Smith clones that don't have this. You know what I mean? So I would have Halloween Tarot, Tarot of Moon Garden, and Tarot of Magical Forest. All 3 fun decks. I appreciate them. I actually do some deep work with all 3 of those. They all have their place in my collection, in my tarot practice, but they're not replacements. So I can't. I would need, indeed, to shop around. And apart from, in my notes, I wrote down Spiral Tarot, I don't even believe that. So, I don't know. I would love it if you could think of a deck that is a Rider-Waite-Smith, but not a pixie clone, if that makes sense, that would fulfill that basic need. I would love to see that in the comments. Okay, let's go. The Thoth. My favorite Thoth is my very green greenie. I love it. It's what I learned the Thoth with. Also, it's what I learned the Marseille system with, Triomphe della Luna, that particular deck. And the Rider-Waite, well, that's not where I really learned Rider-Waite-Smith on, but I used it so much, and still I consider early years, so maybe all 3 of these are what I learned their respectable systems on or with. So Thoth, I'm not allowed to replace it with a Lady Frida Harris Thoth, right? Because, to be honest, that is all I have. That's all I have. I don't have Thoth clones. I have different versions of the Thoth. Because nothing is as good as the regular run-of-the-mill Thoth. I stand by that. I will die on that hill, alright? I just don't have Thoth-based decks apart from the original Thoth because nothing is ever good enough. I have nothing to replace it with. I can't think of a single deck. Maria Tarot is looking pretty nice. I haven't seen it so much, so I can't say more than nice. But it looks great. It looks really close to the original, but then, you know, just different enough to get into it. Honestly, I'm just waiting for that deck to go mass market and then make up my mind about it. Okay, Millennium Thoth, because right now I'm really loving the kitsch decks. Very kitschy decks. And then Hermetic Tarot. But how can I replace this with a black and white deck, you know? But I guess Hermetic Tarot for the teachings, not for the actual art. I know it's a good looking deck, I know it's well made, but it probably feels very different. Crow's Magic Tarot. Yeah, baby. I love this one. What would I do? What would I do without this beauty? I love it. Oh my gosh. It's so weird. My tarot and magical practice looks like this deck now. It's a soul deck. Okay, so to be honest, I would, again, where is it? Replace it with the Terrestrial Tarot, the one with the weird creatures. But I'm not sure if I can do that with 2 different decks in my top 5. And then also, again, Terrestrial is nice, but it wouldn't quite be dark enough. Let's compare. Let's compare the decks. Because these 2, again, they're weird. Very weird. And Terrestrial definitely is weird enough to potentially replace my crow's magic. Yeah, maybe. They definitely are friends. I consider these family. But it's funny, it has the crow's magic feel. But then again, it also has the Triomphe feel, because even though they are quite abstract cards, I'm talking about this one right now. What was I gonna say? These images, they all look like the little creatures that I know and love from the Triomphe realm. You following me? So I don't quite know. Ooh, just showing you the last one. Oh, I love both of these cards so much. I know I'm repeating myself, but I have nothing like this. It's irreplaceable, okay? So I would need to try to shop around. And what I would purchase to try, because I think for something like this, I would need to actually give decks a try. This is such a weird one, that it's all about how it reads. So you can't know beforehand. So I would take a leap of faith and go for Gothic Tarot. Just as weird, just as dark, maybe even more kitsch. How did that even happen? But I would not go for Murder of Crows because it's too cold. And I would also not go for the Crow Tarot because it's so different. Meaning I'm not looking for a deck that has Crow in the title. You know what I mean? This deck, even though you only see maybe 5 crows in the whole deck, has crow energy or raven energy. To me, I know it's not the same little animal, but very similar feel. And oh my God, I don't know. It's just magical to work with this. To me, this is a masterpiece. All right, I'm loving it more and more. All I'm saying is that crow in the title doesn't mean it will feel like my beloved deck. Even though I see, you know, your point, because people have been recommending those decks to me and I see why people like them, it's not a replacement, all right? And it's all about just the quality that a deck brings. Yeah, not the title or even the theme. Okay, and I remember, because I spent way too much time considering all these prompts, upon unboxing it, upon opening it for the first time, I remembered comparing it to the Serpent Fire Tarot, which I don't know if you can see the similarities here. So maybe Serpent Fire Tarot. It's a leap out there, but you know. Tarot of Bones by Lupa, that one. There's something about it that I like. I don't need it yet. Okay, a deck that has very similar feel, maybe, is a deck I already talked about at some point, and I'm trying to pronounce the title. I think it's the creator, maybe, and I will stop trying and just put it in the screen. Now, to be honest, because right now, and it's been a while, my 2 favorite decks, these 2. These are me. You want to get to know me? Work with these decks. If Crow's Magic would fall off the face of the earth, right? I think my best bet would still be to try to make my own. I wouldn't be able to capture this magic. I know this is, to me, this is incredible, but I think I think maybe my best bet would be to go online, search for similar images, and kind of create my own deck. How does that sound? Crazy? It wouldn't be the same though. It wouldn't be the same because you can't capture that magic. You can't duplicate this. Yeah, images that closely resemble it. Okay. Also, by the way, thank you, my dear friend, for suggesting to put in eucalyptus incense alongside these cards to take away the smell I wasn't really a fan of. It works. They smell great now. Very easy fix. Keep some incense with your cards. Last one in the top 5, Ritual Tarot. Okay, look, I will not take any more negativity around this deck, all right? Stop it. Grow up. It's a good deck. It's balanced. It is well made. And to me, epic. The deck that I have, that I own, that I would replace this with, if I had to, is the Tantric Dakini Oracle. Now you might think, obviously, but take a look at this, right? It's not just because it's another collage deck. Well, first of all, I must say they are both beautiful analog collage. Now I think in the essence of a deck, both of these being analog collage makes a difference. If one of them would have been, digital collage, then already it can't really have the same feel, can it? So I love both of these. And I think the Tantric Dakini is gaining some popularity, isn't it? Even though it's an older deck. The main reason I picked this one isn't just because it's also collage and it's analog collage. I think you can tell it does have a similar energy, a similar quality. Yeah. These are both great. These are both so cool. I love these. Yes. What I would purchase to replace something as awesome as the Ritual Tarot, I don't know. I did look at some collage decks because I think it's nice to have this medium in the top 5 or in the classics. I kind of like this. So I looked at some of those decks, and even though there's some cool things out there, oh, I can't choose. I think I already have the best one. Okay, for my taste, I already have the best one. So which one do you think I should give a chance? Which other collage deck, or maybe analog collage preferably, deserves my attention? What do you think? Now, I did find a very weird, I think 90s deck, which is digital collage. And I don't think it replaces this one, but I think it should be in the list because I am talking about decks that interest me, right? It's one of those decks that you'll probably never find, but it's Vertigo Tarot. That is so weird, and it probably should be in the category of replacing Crow's Magic, but I like it. I like it either way. I might be on the hunt, go on the hunt for that one anyway. It's just some weird shit that I need in my life, isn't it? Also, weird thought. Even though as you can tell, I love Ritual Tarot and I read with it a lot, I do have this idea that this might be the easiest one to replace, not to actually find something similar, but to find something maybe that has the same effect on my practice. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's the easiest to replace this deck since it's my newest deck in my top 5. That's what I wrote down. What the hell did I mean? Okay, so conclusion. I love these decks. I think I love them all too much to just be able to think of decks to replace them with. And I know I took this tag in another direction, but this is what I wanted to say today. I work with these all the time, and I don't own decks that are so similar that they could just, fill that void if the top 5 would ever go missing. In my own collection of decks, I have nothing like my top 5. Nothing that really would replace the connection, the relationship that I have to these 5. So I think the closest I got, since I used it twice kind of in this thankfully hypothetical exercise, is probably the Terrestrial Tarot. It's just these images, they were supposed to find me, all right? We were supposed to be united, you and I. Do you know that? Hope these little creatures are happy to have found this family of strange things. I know I'm happy to know them. So there. All I can say is this was fun and I tried. If you like this video, don't leave yet because I will link in the screen any moment now another video that I've previously filmed that you'll probably enjoy as well. I especially love the comment section, so let's get it going over there. If you have something to say, like answer the questions that I asked during the video, that would really help me out and of course would make me think and look at other decks. That's always fun. If you have nothing to say though, but did make it this far, I would appreciate a comment with the word, yes, 2 words, totally bananas. Maybe you can tell me my decks are totally bananas, my picks are totally bananas. Yes, this is actually a card from Tantric Dakini Oracle, or Secret Dakini Oracle. So, of course, with this game at the end of the video, if you do have something to say, please say it, and it's always fun if you include the totally bananas this time. And if you have nothing to say but you did make it this far, just comment totally bananas. I like imagining people's reactions reading that, not knowing why somebody would just comment totally bananas. Although, maybe that makes sense as a comment in my video. I don't know, either way, have a nice weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye.